final straw. Meg caught rude to Charles after he confirmed final decision to delete Archie&Lili titles. King Charles III is expected to appoint Archie and Lilibet Prince and Princess, but they will not be given HRH status. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are reportedly furious about the titles their children will receive, following the death of the Queen. The King has agreed to issue letters patent that will confer his youngest grandchildren Prince and Princess, but they will not be given HRH status. The Sussexes have argued that this will leave their children with inadequate security and reportedly pointed out that Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie possess HRH status but are not working royals. A source said, Harry and Meghan were worried about the security issue, and being Prince and Princess brings them the right to have certain levels of royal security. There have been a lot of talks over the past week. They have been insistent that Archie and Lilibet are Prince and Princess. They have been relentless since the Queen died. But they have been left furious that Archie and Lilibet cannot take the title HRH. In other news, Buckingham Palace has released further details for the Queen's state funeral next Monday as the nation says a final goodbye. Meghan Markle and Sophie Wessex are expected to follow the Queen's funeral procession by car as plans for the historic occasion have been revealed today. King Charles will lead members of the royal family in walking behind the late monarch's coffin when it is moved from Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey on Monday for the state funeral. The Duchess of Sussex, who is living in the US with Prince Harry after quitting royal duties, and the Countess of Wessex, who is said to have been like a second daughter to the late Queen, are expected to be among royals travelling by car. Meghan and Sophie previously shared a vehicle when Her Majesty left Buckingham Palace for the last time on Wednesday for Westminster Hall, where she is lying in state ahead of the funeral. Charles, who spent a private day at his Birkhall residence in Gloucestershire today, will walk in the procession to Westminster Abbey next Monday with his siblings Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Behind will be brothers Prince William and Prince Harry, who have a fractured relationship but have united in their grief for their grandmother, along with Peter Phillips, who is another one of the Queen's grandsons. They will be followed by the Princess Royal's husband Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, the late monarch's cousin the Duke of Gloucester, and her nephew the Earl of Snowdon. Other royals, including Meghan and Sophie, are expected to complete the solemn journey by car. The coffin will be carried during the procession on a 123-year-old gun carriage, pulled by 98 Royal Navy sailors using ropes in a tradition dating back to the funeral of Queen Victoria. The procession will be led by massed pipes and drums of Scottish and Irish regiments, the Brigade of Gurkhas, and the Royal Air Force, numbering 200 musicians. The congregation will begin to file into Westminster Abbey from 8 a.m. before the service, conducted by the Dean of Westminster, starts at 11 a.m. 2,000 people including world leaders and foreign royals will take their seats inside the church in central London to say goodbye to the beloved late Queen, who was consulted on plans for the state funeral. US President Joe Biden and French leader Emmanuel Macron will be among the world leaders attending the ceremonial event. The coffin will be moved at 10:44 a.m. on Monday to Westminster Abbey for the service. Moving elements of the funeral will include the sounding of the last post at 11:55 a.m. as the service nears its end. There will then be a 2-minute national silence which will be observed by the congregation and millions across the UK. The reveille and then the national anthem will then take place, and finally, a lament played by the Queen's piper which will bring the service to a close at noon. The Earl Marshal, the Duke of Norfolk, who is in charge of the plans, said the state funeral will unite people across the globe and resonate with people of all faiths and pay a fitting tribute to an extraordinary reign. Some 800 people, including members of the Queen's household and Windsor estate staff, will attend the committal service afterwards at 4 p.m. in St. George's Chapel. Following the service at Westminster Abbey, the King and other royals will walk behind the coffin once again as it leaves Westminster Abbey for Wellington Arch, before it is driven to Windsor on the state hearse. The route from central London has not been confirmed, but the hearse will travel down the Long Walk to Windsor Castle. Charles and other members of the monarchy will follow behind on foot from the quadrangle as the Queen's coffin approaches St. George's Chapel. The late Queen will be reunited with Prince Philip, who died last year, when she is laid to rest alongside her beloved husband in the King George VI Memorial Chapel in a private service at 7:30 p.m. Private